So yeah, if you saw Raptor Tristan's video on this guy, you kind of know a little bit about him already. This guy, Alex the Critic, he really doesn't know what he wants from a fucking video game. Does he want realism? Does he want, it not to be so realistic? Who the fuck knows with Alex? Who actually fucking knows? In this video just makes it more confusing, and also he gets a few things wrong in the first 20 fucking minutes. Mostly about a certain character's sexuality. Yeah. I'll talk about the pronouns here while I'm at it. How come there won't be pronouns in the future? How come you think that in a space game that's in the future? Well, shit like, I don't know, invisible walls fucking exist. Like, seriously. Alex, have one or the other. Like, dude seriously made this video an hour long just by complaining about pronouns, which could have been cut to like at least 15 minutes if you're just going to complain about it the entire way through. Goddamn. Whatever. Let's get into it.
Hey, Alex, what is a Starfield?
Starfield is the latest offering from video game developer Bethesda Game Softworks, a studio best known for being the architects of the Elder Scrolls and Fallout series. It's a role-playing game set in outer space in which the player character can explore hundreds of planets on their way to collect magic space artifacts, or something along those lines. I don't plan on playing the game anytime soon, and I don't care enough about it to find out what it's actually about.
This seems like a decent introduction to the video. He doesn't have the game, so there's not really much he can say in terms of like gameplay and all that. But at the same time, this might fall on his face a few times because certain bits of the video that comes up kind of shows his lack of knowledge about the game, even from, someone just watching the playthrough and all that. I don't know, I feel like this part kind of shows, yeah, this might bite him in the ass later on in the video. And it kind of does bite him in the ass later on in the video. So, let's get to it.
King Thrash replies, quote, "I never said anything about landing or walking." That's true, by the way. King Thrash's original tweet makes no mention of wanting to land or walk on a gas giant, merely that he wants to, quote, "go to them," which reads to me as him wanting to visit them in his spaceship. But as this Twitter user pointed out, there is a mission in the game where you delve into the atmosphere of a gas giant in order to find an abandoned ship. Not only that, but the player then has to patch a hole in their ship that's letting in air from said atmosphere, which the player survives long enough to do. So
I feel like the complaint about the gas giant will be fixed in a DLC where you can actually explore it. But I feel like this is just pretty minor compared to how many planets you can explore in the game already. I'm gonna fucking Google it right now, just so I know how many planets there are in the game as a total. So, yeah. Live Googling, boys! Live Googling! Apparently there's over 1,000 planets in Starfield. I feel like it might be more of a probably memory issue, trying to keep all the planets in the game, including the gas planets. But I'm not entirely sure about that, that's just a theory. But I feel like this complaint will disappear if they do add it as DLC. But for now, the complaint just seems very minor compared to how many planets you can explore, compared to the planets you can't explore.
These people look suitably dysgenic, don't you think?
I will not aid you.
That's it?
what? Being able to suspend gravity with your mind is realistic to you, but exploring gas giants isn't?
When you go on to watch the original video, I want you to keep this clip in mind. Well, you're watching through the entire fucking pronoun hour with Alex. I want you to keep this very clip in mind when you watch the original video. Just keep this in a safe somewhere. Just keep it somewhere. Remind yourself, oh yeah, this exists, when he tries to make the game realistic.
The mission where you visit a gas giant, moron. Even if you want to argue that actually developing these gas giants and putting them into the game would be impossible because of the amount of time, resources, and QA testing that would need to be done in order to make them not only explorable, but accurate to real life, you'd still need to explain to me why Bethesda promised us we could do exactly that when trying to sell us the game. Maybe if it would be far too much work to put gas giants into a space exploration game, then the developer of a space exploration game shouldn't be lying to us about being able to explore said gas giants. That's just my thinking though.
Hey Alex, have you ever heard of selling a fucking product? You want your product to seem big, like how in your example, Todd Howard is like, oh, you can explore every planet. It's pretty much the same thing as Pokemon saying, oh, you can catch them all, even though you can't in the newer games. See where I'm going at? It's over-exaggeration. They over-exaggerate to sell you a product. There can't be like 200 best movies out. It's an over-fucking-exaggeration, Alex. How do you take that shit seriously, though? But he said I can explore all your planets. The Pokemon Company claims we can catch them all. Clearly, that's not the fucking case. Like, Alex, do you not understand over-exaggeration with this shit? Because clearly, it started to seem like you don't get over-exaggeration very well when somebody's selling you a fucking product. Like, goddamn. 104 games in one. They're totally going to be 104 games in one in this bootleg fucking Game Boy cartridge. Alex, you sound fucking dumb here.
Gross. You can flirt with Sam Coe in Starfield. This is fine if you're a woman, but I always play as myself in a game. Ah, I see you too have decided to roleplay as a maidenless virgin. It's quite fun, isn't it?
It's pretty funny how the man who's on the side that says body shaming and misogyny is wrong has no problem calling somebody a virgin. An insult that only works if you believe that a man's value comes from whether or not he slept with a woman.
This also goes against the story, as Sam is a straight guy, just like yours truly. So why is the option there for males? There's a few things I really love about this. Number one, it comes from the Gaming Christian Twitter account.
Why is that worth pointing out? Yeah, Christians view homosexuality as a sin. You're not exactly rediscovering the wheel here, my dude.
And he makes sure to mention twice that he's not gay. Tell me once, okay, cool, no problem. Tell me twice? Now I'm skeptical.
You are gay.
Wow, what a devastating comeback that I have never heard before. Truly, you have destroyed that man.
My brother in Christ. My brother in literal Christ. Nobody else controls the buttons on your controller except you.
Actman, would it kill you to address the man's actual point?
Well, since the Actman seems to be lazy, at least in this part of the video, where he doesn't really address it, the character the tweet was complaining about having a flirting option with is bisexual, not straight, according to the Wikipedia. So yeah, take that for what you will. The character's bi, so yeah, it makes sense why there's a flirt option when you're a man now.
A lot of people have finally unlocked Ultra Instinct mode and gone full ham calling Starfield woke. They say it's pushing a hardcore liberal agenda and poisoning our precious media, our precious video games that we care so much about. Correct! Whether or not you think it is, you'd probably do a better job convincing people of this if you weren't frothing at the mouth. Fucking current day Californian shit!
First of all, that's a subjective viewpoint. Just because you aren't swayed by Az's argument due to the way he's making it, doesn't mean that everybody else feels the same way. This is evidenced by all the subscribers Az gained after his rant went viral, so this criticism is meaningless.
I really don't think it's likely that people are subscribing because they were just so swayed by his over-exaggeration. They were just so swayed. They decided to go to his channel and just, you know, believe whatever the fuck he was talking about. I think it's more likely that people subscribe because they thought, oh shit, this over-exaggeration is funny as hell, let me subscribe to that shit. I think it's more of the, they think it's funny aspect of it, unless that they are swayed by it to agree with his points or whatever. I think it's more likely that people are just like, wonder what this goofball's gonna do his funny over-exaggeration on something small. I really doubt it's the swaying thing.
Starfield is set in the year 2310, so it's definitely not far-fetched that people who go by they-them pronouns exist. You may disagree with it, but at the end of the day, this is a very small detail that remains consistent with the setting of the game's world and doesn't break immersion.
Oh really? Then how about you show me any examples from within the game of characters referring to themselves with different pronouns? Or point to any lore from within the game that explains that a current day linguistic trend survived for hundreds of years. Plus, if you're going to make that argument, and Actman is going to co-sign it by putting it in his video defending the pronoun choice, then why in the hell can't this same logic be used to justify exploring gas giants?
These people look suitably dysgenic, don't you think?
I will not aid you.
That's it?
What? Being able to suspend gravity with your mind is realistic to you?
But having pronouns, it's definitely crazy, guys. Pronouns and not being able to explore the gas planet. OMG, if you can't have the other, that must mean the other is impossible. Like, holy fuck, you sound stupid with this, Alex. Okay, let's say you're right. You know, we can't have your modern linguistics. How's that going to change the fucking gas planet situation? And also, in your own video, you showed that there's missions where you rescue ships, patch them up, just so they can get away from the gas planets. So, I don't know the fucking point, Alex. I really don't fucking know. Like, yeah, you can go in and save ships in the gas planet's atmosphere or whatever you want to fucking call it, but you can't explore it. I mean, that's fine, but I feel like that could be implied storytelling, being like, oh yeah, it's so dangerous you can't go in there or else your ship will end up like the others you're rescuing. That could be the world building type of thing telling you, hey, your ship is not ready for this. Who knows, it could be in DLC, like other people, non-playable characters, using they-them pronouns. I'm not saying DLC as if it's kind of a giant getcha, but the DLC was announced before this fucking video. You could have, like, put text, hey, this point could have been invalidated by the time of the DLC. And I would have been fine with that. And also, not to mention, the linguistic could still be on Earth by that time. And the ships could probably not stand the gas planets at that time. It's not two things that are impossible if one isn't possible. It's two completely separate things. And also, from a game developer point, One is easier to develop and doesn't really take that much space in the game, while the other is this huge fucking map you explore. Even if you're just going into the atmosphere, you still have to make certain stuff for it to actually work instead of looking glitchy as hell. Which Bungie games tend to be pretty glitchy as hell. Todd Howard definitely is someone you would see on a glitchy game. Well, let's be real here. So maybe they're just waited to add the gas planets later and add more characters, which is completely fine. And yeah, you can complain about not going to the gas planets, but complaining about a fucking pronoun option uses the same logic just is stupid. Honestly, really stupid, Alex. I'm gonna be real, it's just dumb. Oh, why can't the thing go into the gas planet? Maybe it's too dangerous, implied by the ships you're rescuing. Why is there modern linguistics in the game? Maybe because somebody on a different galaxy or a different place than what you can explore has them. Like, those are some pretty good guesses on why these things are the way that they are, using the game's logic and kind of world building off of that, pretty much. But what do I know? I'm not the one that reviews My Little Pony.
I mean, this is literally just an option for role-playing purposes.
Yeah, the option which literally does nothing exists for role-playing purposes. Nice cope, Actman.
Actually, it does do something. It minorly adds your pronouns to the dialogue instead of saying he, him, she, her, they, them. It says whatever pronouns, just kind of replaces those type of pronouns pretty much. That's all it really does, but hey, it doesn't do just nothing. It changes a little bit of the dialogue in the game, so there you go. It does something. I got this information from people that actually played the fucking game.
Also,
just because the game isn't stopping you from bulldozing your way through the character creation and just getting into the game proper doesn't mean that you aren't being forced to pick your pronoun.
This argument is so dumb because there's a lot of games that force you to choose your gender, yet nobody's complaining the fact that they force you to choose your gender. Like, this is the most stupid argument ever. Like, yeah, they force you to choose your pronouns so the characters in the game can say, let's help him, let's help her, let's help them, so they can have that minor dialogue change, which isn't really a major problem at all. It's not as big of an issue as people try to make it out to be. Like, I could say, oh, games force you to name your character. Like, god damn, this is just the stupidest thing anybody has says. Even if the rant was exaggerated, the fucking babyface guy rant was exaggerated, saying they're forcing you to choose your pronouns and all that. You have been forced to make decisions in video games before, but when it comes to pronouns, why complain about it now?
You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything!
How do you be a conservative when you are a living Wojak? When you are like a subset of the Soy Jack?
I cannot believe that you're quoting Vosh of all people as a voice of reason here. ignoring that Vosh himself has screamed his head off about plenty of shit that people would consider inconsequential before, and the fact that Vosh isn't refuting Az's point, but is just insulting him. This is a man who has literally defended child pornography before.
The video clip that he shows isn't Vosh defending pedophiles. It's saying, oh yeah, it would be on the same moral standard as buying your clothes because the clothes are made with slave labor. So if you're buying CP, it should be on the same moral scale, at least according to Vosh. That is what he's saying. Not defending the act of pedophilia, but saying it's on the same moral grounds as buying your shirt knowing that it has slave labor behind it. I don't support CP in any way, by the way. I'm just saying, just trying to summarize what Vosh's clip said. So yeah, not defending CP, but saying is the same moral wrong as getting your clothes from slave labor.
We're playing game. We're just having a grand old time. Meanwhile, people on the right are literally creating new soy jacks live, getting angry at this over pronouns.
Oh yeah, because it's not like the left has ever taken pronouns all that seriously, nor done anything extreme to the people opposed to the modern gender ideology that spawned the concept of people referring to themselves by preferred pronouns. Hey, I wonder what leftist activists did only a few months ago.
And then Alex realized his passion wasn't critiquing anyone, or critiquing shows and movies and YouTube videos. He found his passion in becoming a Gundam re-upload channel for 15 minutes of this video.
No. Obviously, overreacting to pronouns is something that only conservatives would do, because pronouns aren't that big a deal. That's why sites like Nexus Mods will ban people who create mods that take out the pronoun option in Starfield. Because, as we all know, pronouns are no big deal.
But yeah, in the Gundam montage, it was talking about like the Harry Potter situation where, oh yeah, people got triggered at other people because the creator of Harry Potter is a transphobe, and people view that you shouldn't promote transphobe, which ended up in bullying people offline pretty much. So yeah, he's just like, oh my gosh, it's no big deal, guys, sarcastically, like, Alex, fuck off. And also bringing up the Nexus mods, removing the mod that removes the pronouns thing. It's Nexus mod, they can do whatever the fuck they want, Alex. Like, just shut the fuck up, Alex, honestly.
Because games aren't just a form of escapism for people who look like you. They are a form of escapism for everyone.
I could respond to that argument, but I think I'll let Razorfist do it instead.
Pronouns are actually an RPG feature. Fucking really? Isn't the entire point of transitioning to eventually transition into something? So here's a thought. If you're transitioning into a broad, play as a fucking broad! 0 pronouns required. Really, Riri's? This is your play?
What if I want to play as a non-binary space pirate that loves cowboy bussy? What if I want to be that? What if I want to be that thing that I just said? Oh no, then I'm gonna have to have a they-them pronouns thing. Oh gosh, the humanity, guys. The fucking humanity. The earth is fucking quaking. Everybody's gonna fucking die.
Think about how many sliders and other things you see in character creation tools that you don't give a fuck about, but somebody else inevitably will.
This is a false equivalence. An RPG that allows you to change the way your character looks isn't woke, which is what Actman is implying by using it as his example, because this alone is not pushing any leftist ideology. unless you think making your character black is somehow pushing communism. An RPG allowing you to choose your character's preferred pronouns, however, is woke because it's promoting modern gender ideology, which was not only spawned by leftist academics, but is where the idea of preferred pronouns came from to begin with.
In this case, I could probably bring up being a woman in a video game, which still could be political in some countries, by the way, or the existence of third-person shooters. Everything in a video game can be political if you force it to be political. If you just ignore it and move on with your life, it's not really going to do anything to you personally. But if you revolve yourself around fucking political ideologies all the fucking time, Alex, it makes you look very fucking stupid majority of the time. Especially when we're just talking about, oh yeah, pronouns in games. It just doesn't work in your favor, buddy. Like, you can probably say something, and that would be fucking political nowadays. Don't expect, oh gee, this is very political. You're gonna be that big shot you were really hoping for. Because legit anything can be political nowadays. I know it sounds dumb, but it's the fucking truth, and I fucking hate my life. But yeah, you know what? Everything is political. So this really is a huge thing, honestly. Saying it's political just kind of makes you sound fucking idiotic.
I think Donkey put it best when he said,
in the character creation screen, it asks you what pronoun you want for your character. It's like 3 seconds of a game, which is like 700 hours long.
It's a good thing I don't actually give a shit what Video Game Donkey says then.
I'm pretty sure the point Donkey was making is pretty much, why complain about this 3-second thing when you can complain about actual issues throughout the game? Which I do agree with, like, this fucking pronoun shit. Yeah, it's only on screen for fucking 3 seconds. Of course, you know, whatever pronouns you chose kind of changes dialogue a little bit. But why fucking complain about a 3-second thing so much that it got so fucking popular? Compared to, I don't know, the actual issues with the game crashing and running pretty poorly. You know, those types of issues compared to, like, the 3-second pronoun thing, which you could just mash through anyways.
if you want to have this greater discussion of leftist political agendas infecting all sorts of media, I mean, go ahead and have that discussion. It's definitely happening in some places, but it's not here in Starfield.
I'll take objectively wrong statements for 200, Alex.
I'll take obvious joke setup for 1 billion. Snarkfield. Seriously, why did he say his own name? I don't fucking know.
Wait! Oh shit! Look at this woke coffee mug I just found! You guys, this is so much worse than the woke toilets in the Dead Space remake. I would rather shit my pants than take a dump in one of those. If you're trying to say this is woke, couldn't this also just be evidence that there's some corporation or company manufacturing coffee mugs with feminist ideals in Starfield? So in that sense, isn't the world more realistic and similar to ours?
No, because that would raise the question of how that ideology not only survived after 300 years, but became so widespread throughout intergalactic society that companies would still be able to print money making merchandise that promotes it. I mean, you'd think humans in this futuristic science fantasy setting would have more exciting things to make coffee mugs about than pathetic girl boss platitudes. But even if we do buy this premise, once again, why couldn't this same logic be used to justify being able to explore gas giants with ships that can withstand their environments?
Sorry if my audio sounds like off compared to the rest of the video. I had to like switch headphones because the headphones I was using yesterday decided to go quiet on me. I don't know why. But anyways, this is a very bad argument because A can happen without B being there, since these two things aren't really related in any shape or form. But yeah, I just kind of feel like this argument is stupid due to that piece of logic right there.
So at this point, I feel like you guys have officially lost the plot. I feel like people on the right don't realize that they have done to the word woke what the left did to the words sexist and racist. Robbed them of almost all their original meaning. The dynamic has completely shifted with who is the SJW. You guys use the word woke too liberally. That's a funny pun. Like when people call someone a fascist, my first instinct is just to assume the exact opposite.
Oh, is that right? Then please, Mr. Pedophile Apologist, why don't you enlighten us on what the word woke means?
Yes, you did just hear him call the Ackman a pedophile apologist. What? I don't even understand why he did this here at all. Like, the only reason I can think of is why Alex calls Ackman a pedophile apologist is because he quotes Vosh. And that's really about it. Like, what does that have to do with fucking anything in this video? I am so goddamn fucking confused, Alex. Please explain this to me, my fart fetish fellow. Explain how this has anything to do with legit any of the points that were just said. Like, what the actual fuck? Please, fart fetish fellow, please explain why you called him a pedophile apologist here. I am extremely confused. A little nitpick before we get to the actual final thoughts of the video. But during the time skip cards, some of the text kind of blends in with the sand. Like, I know it isn't a big deal, but it kind of blends in, especially with my eyes. I'm a little bit colorblind. So it just kind of blends in a little too much. My fix for this is just changing it to navy blue, or just have an outline on it. But since I know Alex, the movie maker, uses... Not Alex, the movie maker. I mean, Alex, the critic, uses Windows Movie Maker. And I don't know if it can outline the text or not. Just change the text to navy blue. This is just a little bit of a nitpick with the video before we get to like my final words about the video and all that. But you know, it just kind of blends in a little too much with these time skip cards. My final thoughts? I just think the video is bad, no matter how I view it. Yeah, sure, you guys probably have your own opinions telling me, oh, the video was good, the video was decent. But in my opinion, I just thought it was extremely bad. Some bad faith arguments here and there. Because A can't happen, that must mean B must be able to happen. That's just what it feels like in a nutshell. Oh, you can have they, them pronouns, but you can't fly to a gas planet. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I just think this video is a hot take that's just made for views and attention. I don't know, that's just how I feel about the video. Don't harass Alex about this video, by the way. Don't go out of your way to witch hunt him or whatever. This is just a bad take in my opinion. I don't really know what else to say, because I just thought the video was either bad or just okay at best. Sorry Alex, I just really don't like this video. Anyways, don't bully, don't harass, don't witch hunt this guy for his extremely bad take, in my opinion. Just don't go after the guy after watching my video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.